Welcome back, aliens. My name is Navin Reddy, and let's continue with the series on JavaScript. In the last video, we have talked about what is this keyword. In this video, we'll understand why it is called this keyword. And that's important, when you understand the concept. So in the last video, we have seen why do we use this and then what is this keyword. In this video, when we understand the meaning of it, next time when you want to use it, it will be easier for you to understand, hey, this is where we want to use this keyword, right? So let's understand that. So what we will do here is, if you can see, we have two objects here, right? We have laptop 1 and laptop 2, and both these laptops has some different properties. I mean, of course, the property names are same, the values are different. So this laptop 2 has CPU, RAM and brand. Same goes for laptop 1, but what is different is the values, right? In fact, for the laptop 2, let me change the brand from HP to, let's say, Apple. So we got this machine Apple here, and then we got HP machine on this side. And then I want to compare the speed of it. Now, technically, it doesn't make sense to compare two brands if they're using two different OS. Example, on Apple, you will be using Mac OS. On HP, you will be using either Ubuntu or a Linux-based OS or a Windows OS, right? So what we will do here is, let's do a comparison, but let's not compare the brand and RAM. I want to majorly compare the CPU here. So irrespective of the OS, let's only compare with the CPUs. I know the recent Apple machines are coming with M1 chip, but let's go with the older one, which is i7. So here I want to compare these two. How do you compare? It's very simple actually. You can come back here and you can write a if condition here, right? So you can say if the laptop 1 CPU, that's how you compare, right? Because if you want to access the CPU property, you need to use the object name as well. You can't simply say CPU and compare with, oh, what's that? Okay, so I just said backspace, and so I will say CPU compare with the other CPU, right? So I'm comparing two different CPUs of two different laptops, right? So this is of laptop 1 and laptop 2, and you can see it is giving you error as well. I mean, it doesn't know what that CPU is. So we have to mention, hey, this is of laptop 1. So this is laptop 1 CPU, and this is the laptop 2 CPU. So that's how you refer it. So if we say laptop 1 is greater than laptop 2 CPU, in that case, we can print the laptop 1 as a major one. In fact, we can just print it. We can return the value or we can print it. But here, where do we return it? We are not calling a function, right? So let's print it here itself. So we'll say log, and here I will print laptop 1. So we are saying, hey, laptop 1 is greater, or it's a faster machine. Else we'll print laptop 2. So this is what we want to print, right? So here, some settings has been changed in this machine. The keyboard is actually running very fast. I have to reduce the speed of it. Okay, so we are printing laptop 1 here, we are printing laptop 2 here, depending upon which one is faster, right? Let's run this code and let's see what happens. And you can see it is printing i7. Of course, right, that's the condition we are doing here. Laptop 1 is faster. But what if this is, okay, I know we don't have i11, but let's make this i5 for time being, just to see if this really works. And yes, you can see this time it is printing i7. So earlier it was printing i9, this time it is printing i7. That means something is working, right? I will go back to i9 here so that we can do some more comparisons. Okay, so we can do that here itself, right? What if we don't want to do this here? We have talked about functions, right? Normally when you have a task, it's always better to have a separate function for a particular task, right? So this should be a part of a function. We can do that actually. So let me just take this and let me cut this part and let's go on top. Let's paste it here and let me put this part into a function. Now, how do we do that? It's very simple. We have done that before. So I can get a function and I can call this function as get the fastest machine or get the fast laptop. Of course, you can name anything, doesn't matter actually. So we can say get fast laptop. And then this will return me a fast machine, right? So basically this function will accept 2 laptops, or maybe you can have 3 laptops or 5 laptops. At this time, I'm going for 2 laptops. So this function will accept 2 laptops here, and then it will compare these 2 laptops based on the CPU. Of course, you can add some more parameters to it. What if there are 2 CPUs which are same? In that case, you will check for, let's say, graphic card performance. If that is same, maybe you can go for the RAM storage or the RAM capacity. Maybe you can go for the some other aspect of the frequency of a RAM and all those things. But at this point, just to keep it simple, we are going for CPU comparisons. Of course, you can do that as an assignment. You can check, hey, what if there are 2 machines or 2 laptops with the same CPU? What next you have to check? Maybe you can use a AND operation there, or maybe you can have a nested if condition. Again, that's your choice. I would love to see your code in the comment section. But as of now, let me pass those two laptops. In fact, the operation is this we are going to do, which we have already done. This is what you have to compare, right? But before comparing, you have to pass those two laptops. So I will say laptop 1 and this is laptop 2. So basically, if you want to compare, you have to pass those two parameters. So of course, if someone wants to call the get fast laptop, so when you call get fast laptop, you need to actually pass those two values. Let's do that here quickly. So I will pass laptop 1 and here we'll say laptop 2. So basically we are passing two objects here, right? And what do you think, will it work? Let's try. So I will just run this code, and of course you will see the same output because here we are doing the same thing, right? So you're passing two laptops, and based on which is faster, you're printing it. But what if you want to return it? In fact, you can also do that, but as of now, let's not do this. Okay, let's only print it. So this is cool, right? So here what we are doing is as a third-party object, because of course someone is owning this method here, right? This function. So someone is actually calling this function and comparing these two laptops. What if a laptop is comparing itself to other laptop? Is it really possible? What I want to achieve here is this laptop here, laptop 1. Laptop 1 should be able to compare itself with the other laptop. Maybe I can say compare, right? So laptop 1 is comparing itself to laptop 2, okay? And it should print whichever laptop is faster. So if laptop 1 is faster, it will print, or maybe it should print true or false, or it should print, yes, you are the greatest, or it should print, oh, you lost it. Okay, something like that. So laptop 1, one object is comparing itself to other object. Now, what's the difference between this method here and this one is, this is a third-party function comparing these two objects, right? So laptop 1 and laptop 2 have no idea about get fast laptop. It's some other function comparing two laptops. It's something like you have two phones in front of you and you are comparing them, right? So you're the third party. Those are the two phones. But this time a phone is comparing itself with other phone. So this is changing the perspective. Of course, both should work. Both are comparing two objects. Here we are comparing laptop 1 with laptop 2. But will it work? Of course, we don't have this function compare, right? If you run this code, I don't know what will happen. So do we have that code? No, we have to actually define this compare method, right? So we don't have compare inside laptop 1. So what we can do here is we can go back to laptop 1, which is here. And in this, I can add that property. So we have to add extra property here, which is actually a method. So I will say, hey, I want a compare feature as well. And we can call this as a function, right? So this is a function, right? Which will make it as a method. So let's define this. But there is an issue. If you can see here, you are calling a compare method. That's awesome. So laptop 1 is calling compare, but we are passing a parameter. Okay, so that means we have to accept that parameter here. Now, what should I call it? Maybe I can call it a laptop. Yes, we can go for laptop 1. We can go for laptop 2. We can change the terminology. Even if you say this is laptop 1, that's completely fine because the variables are different, because they are from different scope. As of now, I will say laptop. And here, let me compare these two laptops. Or maybe you can go for laptop 2 just to keep it easy, right? So we got laptop 2 because we are passing laptop 2 there. But now question arises, how will you compare? Because see, to compare two laptops, we need two laptops, right? We are only passing one here. So even if you want to code the same code which we have done here, I can simply copy it. You know what? Since we only have one statement, you don't actually need curly brackets, just to reduce the number of lines. It's very important to understand, right? Okay, so even if I copy the exact code, so let me just copy this and paste it inside the compare, because ultimately it's doing the same thing, right? It's comparing two laptops. But the problem is we have laptop 2, we don't have laptop 1. So that's the challenge we have to address here. How do you solve this issue? We don't have laptop 1, right? But don't you think you are calling this compare method with the help of laptop 1? So somewhere laptop 1 is executing this method, and every time an object executing the method, it's there. It's just that you can't see it. It's John Cena. It's there, you can't see it, right? So how do we use it? How do we use that invisible object which is calling compare, but here you can't see it? The thing is, whenever you have an object executing the method or anything in that particular object, we can refer that with an awesome keyword called this, right? So this object is comparing itself with the other object. So instead of using the laptop 2 name, we can say other. So this is comparing itself with the other one. Of course, other is not a keyword in JavaScript, but we can use it. So what we are doing is we are comparing itself with the other object. So who is calling compare? Laptop 1. And it is passing which object? Laptop 2. So the current object, which is calling compare, is called this keyword, can be used with the help of this, and the parsed parameter can be used as an object itself. So we are comparing this .cpu with the other .cpu. Example, like if you are comparing your marks with someone else, you will say, okay, my marks is greater than the other person marks. So we say my, right? That's a this keyword here. Okay, I hope that makes sense. It's actually tricky to actually understand this in one go. We forgot to put a comma here. So this is how you define it. And let's see if that works now. Let me just remove this get fast laptop. In fact, let me remove it completely so that we can have a small code which we can compare. Okay, so let's see what happens when you run this code. And you can see we got i9. So i9 has all these properties, which is compare and get config as well as the methods. So this is how you compare two objects, but the definition itself inside the laptop one. Okay, that's why we said this keyword, because it represents the current object. Now the other issue we have is, can we do reverse? Can we compare laptop 2 with laptop 1? Let's try. Let's see what happens. And when you do that, it will give you error. You know why? Because the compare method only belongs to laptop 1, not laptop 2. It doesn't have that method. So maybe we have to write this method there as well. But then don't you think if you have 10 objects of the same class or 10 objects of the same type of laptop, we should only define it once? So that's one issue we will solve later. But as of now, we are only focusing on this keyword. So that's it from this video. I hope you got something about this keyword, how to compare two different objects and other stuff. So let me know in the comment section and do subscribe for further videos. Bye-bye.